Louisiana Beer Review Special Edition Dogfish Head Worldwide Stout 2023 edition, by the way, revisited. So this is an interesting story. Last month, I get this phone call from my friend David. He does solo reviews with me. He does duo reviews with me, and like he was like real frantic to call, and I was like, oh man, something happened. He was like real wound up and all excited, and I was like, all right, calm down. What? I couldn't understand what he was saying at first. I was like, what are you talking about? And then I got it together, or understood. I said, and I wanted to tell him, well, you're wrong, that's not really possible. So I was like, he's going off the deep end or something. But he was telling me they got Dogfish Head. I'm not going to name the store because he said, don't name the store. I said, okay, I'm not going to name the store. But it was in Louisiana, I'll say that. He said, and they've got Dogfish Head Worldwide Stout at this store for $1.99 a bottle. I don't know, it was like, you know, it's $7.99 or $7.96 a 4-pack. But you could buy singles. And it was like, I said, what are you talking about? I said, that beer is $11 to $12 a bottle. We can get it in Louisiana in a few towns, but it's like $11 or $12 a bottle. Sometimes if you get a 4-pack, you might get it for $38.99. Okay, I'm thinking, he's really going over the edge this time, you know, but he was like, no, you need to come out here. You need to come out here now. Well, I'd already eaten my dinner. I'm not driving all the way out there to go look at this, but I'm thinking, he's going crazy, you know. He said, they got it $1.99 a bottle. He said, I'm buying a lot of it. And he did buy some of it, but I think he didn't tell me though. I think he bought a whole lot of it. But he kept going back like over the next couple of weeks, and he's like, they still have it, and it's more. And it's like this is not a store that does huge beer displays. They'll sell beer, obviously, and they sell a lot of beer. But they don't usually sell stuff like this. And secondly, although they do sell some Dogfish Head beer, but they don't do big, you know, any displays. And he's like, you can't believe it, it's so much. And I'm like, I think somebody made a coding error or something. But no. So he was like, do you want me to get you some? Well, obviously, yes. So he picked me up 4 bottles. He gave me 1 bottle, thank you for the gift. And he picked up 4. So it was after tax, like $8.80 up to $9, you know, big deal. So I thought, I don't know, it doesn't sound right. And then he said, I made a mistake. Well, that's not a mistake. What are you going to do, buy it all? So he said, I told somebody about it, and he went and bought a whole bunch of it. A friend of his bought, like, I think him and that friend bought all of it. I think the average Louisiana beer drinker, the average Louisiana beer drinker would say, well, I drink Bud Light. You know, they would rather drink Bud Light than this. So this is not the time of the year to drink this because it's 90-something degrees and rising right now. That's why I'm sitting under these trees. But yeah, and you can see the bottle sweating. Oh man, the 2023 edition. And it's like, why do they have the 2023 edition? You know, that's even strange. It's like all the same one. 15.5% alcohol by volume. IBU's not listed. Yeah, they do list them. It's 75 every year. It's always 75 for any vintage. Ingredients not listed. That's what I meant. A very dark beer brewed with a ridiculous amount of barley. Yep. This behemoth of a stout is rich, roasty, and complex with notes of espresso and toasted cacao. Toasted, you know, chocolate. So, yeah, definitely not the time of year to drink this. And I'm sweating, and there's some beautiful butterflies. But, yeah, the heat is crazy. But, I mean, Louisiana, where I live, I was thinking about my furnace. I think I ran it 5 times this past year, and that might be too many. It wasn't over 5, but it might have been 4. And that goes every year. And I had another furnace that I had to replace. I had to replace it with the AC unit because it came in a package, but I think the previous one, he probably gave it to somebody because, talking about the AC guy, because there was nothing wrong with it. So yeah, we got a date here, 2023, yeah. But some of the other stuff is hard to decipher. All right. When John and Neely of Georgia Beer Reviews, now in Massachusetts, he came to visit us about 5 years ago, and he was like, "Don't you remember we did the Worldwide Stout that night?" And I was like, I don't even believe that I could remember that day. Like all that, what we were doing, you know, so much tasting and everything. And I was like, I don't know how you remember that. And then I watched the video and looked at some photo. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that a little bit. And then after I left, he was like, yeah, and then we started doing beer reviews. I'm like, you started doing beer reviews after I left? But we shared a bottle. We you know, it was a third each, but that was a crazy day. All right, then they went out after. So it's very dark brown, nearly black. It has virtually no head. These kind of beers aren't going to present much of a head or any kind of lacing. It's too strong. It's chocolate, like they said, roasted chocolate, roasted malt, black as night. I wish I knew the hops in the malts, but they don't release it. It gets extremely high scores on Beer Advocate and Untapped. You know, outstanding, they're saying outstanding. They don't say world class, though. They don't say world class, but they're saying outstanding. So the appearance is amazing. The aroma is amazing, but so strong. Oh! So very strong. It might take me forever to drink the 3 other bottles, but I'm not going to take forever because I've had almost a universally negative experience aging beers. I'm talking about imperial stouts mainly, or barley wines. I don't believe it. I don't think they get better by aging. I don't care. I don't care what people say. They say it's not as hot. I don't care. Why are you worrying about hot? You're drinking a 15.5% alcohol beer. You're worrying about it being hot. I do a lot of liquor reviews. I'm used to heat. People say don't start fires if you can't take the heat. Well, I can take the heat. You know, 80 proof. I'm not a barrel proof person. Okay, I'll admit that. But you know, I'm kind of used to alcohol. I'm acclimated. This has a lot of fig, date, cherry, black cherry, coffee, chocolate, some vanilla, char, black bread, that German bread, you know, that they have at Volksfest. There's literally no breeze in the air. The air is so still and humid here. Can you believe this? It's amazing though, the body's not that heavy. I mean, you would think it's just going to be like syrup, but it isn't. It isn't. It is not. It's not light by any stretch of the imagination. Bitterness units are not that high. Two and a half out of 5 bitterness units. You know, hop cones. Sweetness. It's not even that sweet. 2. Yeah. I'm gonna defer, but I'll say 2.5 out of 5 sugar cues. But it's not that sugary. It's not that hoppy, or bitter, I should say. It's not that heavy. But it's dangerous because it comes across so demure. But it's a powerful product. So, is this a great craft beer? It is a very great craft beer. And for $1.99, I don't even understand that. I don't understand that. But I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a 9.8 out of 10. I'm going to go with a 9.8 out of 100. It's a fabulous, amazing, wonderful, outstanding beer. I wouldn't say world class, but it is beautiful. And but it's better probably in December and January. But anyway, Les Le Bon Ton Relais, a fabulous product. And I'm going to end this review by saying y'all go to Delaware, which I would love to do. I've been to Delaware, but not to Dogfish Head Brewery, and take a brewery tour.